wa Kenya, kutumikia Kenya daima na milele.
Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima.
Mama yetu tena ni baba yetu, hatutaacha Kenya daima na milele.
Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima. Kenya kipenzi chetu, hatutaiacha milele daima.
Acha Kenya nchi yangu.
Mark B.O., who has just been received by Deputy President William Ruto, is now being led to the VIP dais. And we have just seen President Uhuru Kenyatta is now almost leaving State House to this event. Remember, the Sierra Leonean president is a guest of the state and is the special guest who is expected to grace this Madaraka Day, and he's expected to give a speech, actually. And he has been here since Monday this week, and so actually Sunday. He arrived on Saturday evening, so he's been around, and he was part of the team that opened, or that was invited to witness the opening of the Uhuru Gardens and the museum. Those are members of the cabinet. On the left of your screen, that is the convoy leaving State House now, en route to the Uhuru Gardens, which is less than 15 kilometers from State House, and so you'd expect this journey would take less than 30 minutes, bearing in mind that you wouldn't expect to see a lot of traffic jam. Not actually a lot. They do not expect to encounter any traffic jam along the way. We're also keenly watching to see what time the president is expected to leave State House, but seeing his senior members of his cabinet, leaving now, it's a pointer that he should be tagging along at a time, right behind them. And let's see at what point President Uhuru Kenyatta is going to leave State House. And one thing that we must appreciate somehow is that, the State House of these days looks quite neater, well-kept and greener. Do you agree?
I haven't been there, but it looks very nice from outside.
Well, I'm sure you used to see this during, the previous years.
And one of the things, O'Brien, I'm very eager to know is this convoy using the expressway to go to Uhuru Gardens, or which route are they using?
I do not have those specific details, but I think it would be, symbolic for them to use the expressway. Even though I'm trying to ask myself, by using the expressway, unless they take the Waiyaki way, and then they use the loop all the way to Mombasa Road. I don't know. I wouldn't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. President Uhuru Kenyatta and his team, using the expressway, bearing in mind that that is one of his legacy project. But I think that is something that's worth watching out for. And as you can see on your screen, members of the presidential escort are now lighting up and getting ready, to escort the president. So in a moment from now, you expect to see the presidential limousine. I think I can see it, parked just next to the State House entrance, ready to pick the balls and deliver or drive him to Uhuru Gardens together with the first lady. And the other thing that we must appreciate is the fact that under President Uhuru Kenyatta, State House has become very open. And we do not have a president who has received so many heads of state during his tenure than President Uhuru Kenyatta.
I think one of the underappreciated achievement of President Uhuru Kenyatta is his global perspective. If you look at the number of travels he has taken abroad, the number of dignitaries he has hosted at State House, he has also been a very global person.
Yeah.
And if you look at the number of meetings Kenya has held or has hosted, TICAD, WTO, or in Kenya, it simply shows that he has been very outward looking. And I hope when we get the next president, he will expand that globalization so that Kenya becomes a central player in the community of nations. So he has not just been active in the country, but outside the country, which I think is good for our image.
Because I think the president has managed to play host to all the presidents of the leading economies of the world. I mean, President Obama, the former U.S. president, was here.
Yes.
UK Prime Minister, Theresa May was here. Boris Johnson was also here. German Chancellor Angela Merkel, the retired, was here. And I think the current Chancellor, Ulf, has he been here?
I don't think he has been here.
He hasn't been here.
Yeah.
We have also seen, Italian Prime Matteo. I can't remember the name clearly, but he was actually here. Pope Francis was also here. So the list is quite endless. And when you look at African, presidents, I do not know which African president has not been here because even South African president is always here, Nigerian president, Ghanaian president, even regional leaders, so that has somehow, cemented Kenya's position on the global stage.
I think, Brian, you also need to go beyond the political part of it. I've seen quite a number of big organizations bringing their headquarters to Kenya.
Yeah.
I think Microsoft has opened an office. I think Google has opened a regional headquarters, and a lot of other companies. So we are not just becoming big politically, but also economically, which I think is good for our economy.
And the same can be said of Google. They have set up their regional headquarters here, among many other institutions. On the right of your screen, you have what is the happenings at the Uhuru Gardens, where the military is now getting ready to receive their most important guest of the day, that is their commander-in-chief, President Uhuru Kenyatta. And on your left is our feed from State House, where we have exclusive access. And as you can see, the presidential limousine is ready. And the AGD camp of President Uhuru Kenyatta there in white, beckoning at somebody. And so that's a sign that in the moment from now, we expect Uhuru Kenyatta, the president, to emerge together with the First Lady, Margaret Kenyatta, and of course, board the presidential limousine en route to Uhuru Gardens, where the military, the members of the public, the diplomatic corps, and Sierra Leonean President Makbio are waiting for the president. And, this is quite a symbolic event for the president.
Brian, something else that catches my attention is, if you look at that house from outside, or from the air, the way it is appearing there, you can actually see why everybody wants to become the president. Because that honor of living in that house, the stateness, the honor, the prestige is irresistible.
Is irresistible.
Yes, and anybody would want to stay in such a house.
Well, absolutely, I wouldn't mind.
Even if it's just for 5 years. So it's a very stately house.
I wouldn't mind even for a week.
Yes.
To be occupant of that house. But I also, I appreciate nature so much, and I can see the grass there is pretty very well kept. I must appreciate that fact.
That's why everybody wants to stay there. That's why everybody wants to be the president. If we have about 40 people or 50 people want to be the president, they all hope one day they will be occupants of that house.
Well, yeah.
I hope you have been there.
Where is that?
That State House.
Oh yeah, State House is. I've never been an occupant, definitely, but
no, as a visitor.
I've been there, as a visitor, and I can confirm, that it's definitely a place you would want to.
Maybe we should maybe that's our next course of debate. Who is likely to be the next occupant of that house?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the debate has been ongoing, for some times now, and this debate is coming closer and closer to an end as we head to the 9th of August elections, and we'll definitely get to know. I hope we'll be with you here so that we can also look back and reminisce about the outgoing and the incoming administration. So you're just joining us live from Broadcasting House, Uhuru Gardens and State House, where President Uhuru Kenyatta has just finished. That's about 10 or 15 minutes ago, talking to members of his cabinet, and there you were. The ADD camp, I think he's now telling the security that the president is almost leaving now, and so let's see. So as I was telling you, the president has just addressed members of his cabinet, thanking them, for their service, and of course telling them to continue serving the nation, in their future endeavors. So quite a symbolic day for the president here. Those are those members of the president family?
Looks like.
Yeah, I think I've seen the president's son there. I'm not very sure. My eyesight fails me.
Maybe before you talk about your eyesight, it's also possible that some members of that cabinet will be the next cabinet.
Oh, absolutely.
I have that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, we know for sure that...
if you look at how confident they looked, even when they are shaking his hands, I think they know more than we know.
They know more than we know.
Yes.
Well, I know for sure that the Azimio leader and presidential flag bearer, Raila Odinga, has already tapped. He said that Munya, Peter Munya, is likely to retain his docket as the agriculture minister. Did he say that?
Yes, he said that. Even Wamalwa.
Even Wamalwa.
And we don't know what would happen if the other side goes to State House. They will probably retain some of them for continued purposes, for building bridges. And as somebody suggested, there could even be another handshake.
Another handshake?
Yes. I predict it doesn't matter who goes to State House. This will be handshake
between who and who?
The UDA, or Kenya Kwanza, and Azimio.
I'm sure whatever works for this country. And that's the president, yes, and the first lady, Margaret Kenyatta now. They've boarded the presidential limousine now, ready to depart from State House to Uhuru Gardens, and the presidential motorcade as well is ready to now depart from State House. The president's car has started the journey now, and members of the presidential motorcade, led by the presidential escort, they have started the journey as well to Uhuru Gardens, which I told you is less than 15 kilometers from where they are. And so, plus or minus, in the next 20 minutes, you would expect to see the president making his entry into these gardens. So, and we expect to see, a rousing welcome for the president once he gets there, because as we could see, members of members of the public were very ecstatic and really looking forward to hear from the president. Our team is also doing a fantastic job. They will be keeping tabs of these motorcade and, of course, driving through the city roads. So in a while, we should be in a position to exactly know which road they are going to use, and it will be in a position to help us understand they will be able to get there by how many minutes. Right now, what you are seeing on your screen is the presidential motorcade, and I want you, Iraqi, to comment these. When you see these exactly, now you understand why a lot of people would want to be to occupy the house on the hill.
I think when you see this motorcade, it just portrays power. You can see not just the outriders, but also on the side of the road, there's some people saluting, some people appreciating the president, and that is what is called the display of power. The display of power, and I think it's a dream everybody will want to
Yeah.
But I think the most important thing is not the display of power, but when you get that power, what you do to improve the living standards of every citizen of your country. I think to me that is the most important thing.
It's the most important thing.
Because as a president, you are a servant of the people.
But I think for Uhuru Kenyatta, I mean, bearing in mind that his father was the first occupant of this house, the founding president, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, so he was brought up here. I understand he doesn't live far off from a state house. So to him, would you say it's a big thing? It's a big thing for him.
I think O'Brien is a big thing because we don't know when in this country we are going to have a son of a president becoming the president. It may take many years to come.
Yeah.
So it is still an achievement for him. I think all of us would have wanted to be the president.
Yeah.
And we don't want our sons to be the president. But there's only a few people who are able
even
to.
Our daughters.
There's people who have achieved this. So whether he was born and brought up there, it is still an achievement.
I think they have taken the State House Road, so they're going to exit from Kenyatta Avenue.
They are going to use Bagathi Road probably. It's much shorter.
Maybe they are likely to use Bagathi Road or maybe Valley Road, and then I think link up with Valley
Road, Bagathi
Road, and then on to Langata Road.
Let's see how they're going to do it.
Because they could also take, take a left turn
into
Uhuru Highway, which also is symbolic because it is. It has a name that is.
In fact, if they take left turn, they will start by taking Kenyatta Avenue, then Uhuru Highway.
Yeah,
it's a very interesting combination.
And they are going to pass Uhuru Park.
Yes, and they will go to Uhuru Gardens.
And they will go to Uhuru Gardens.
Yes.
So many names around here. So this is the presidential motorcade, and now en route to Uhuru Gardens. And this, of course, you're getting, these are exclusive coverage of this drive by the state broadcaster, that is KBC. Of course, we have shown you the aims that have been taking place at State House, and now we are part of this team that is now leaving en route to. They've taken the left turn to Uhuru Highway. Is that correct?
And you can see the billboards in the background.
Yes, they are on Kenyatta Avenue now. They've taken the left turn on Kenyatta Avenue. I think they have to connect with Uhuru Highway, right next to Uhuru Park, which is under renovation, and on top of Uhuru Highway is where you have the Nairobi Expressway, which is a legacy project of President Uhuru Kenyatta. And it's also good to also point out that Kenyatta Avenue is also under construction. The dwelling process is currently underway. That's why it doesn't look very well kept. But I'm sure it's once this dwelling process is done, it will be good, and definitely it will also be good for the motorists. And do you want to say something about these?
Yes, I think once the expressway is done and this road is also done, I think there will be quite some improvement in the transport network in Nairobi, and we hope the traffic jams will be reduced so that we spend less time on the traffic jams. We spend less fuel, and the economy the networks become more efficient. You can see the expressway, just what they are crossing now, just behind them. They're going through the roundabout.
Yeah, and on top of this highway is the much talked about the Nairobi Expressway, quite significant and symbolic for the president, who is now en route to Uhuru Gardens, where thousands of members of the public are waiting for the president. And now we have to take you there now so that you can also listening to some very nice music, patriotic music that is coming out of Uhuru Gardens. Otherwise, thank you very much indeed for being part of us this morning together with XN Iraqi. What do you want to say, XN, before I let you go?
I think it's the high time Kenyans celebrated our achievements. We have been a free nation for 59 years, and we must look forward to another 59 years, maybe another 100 years, because this country is going to outlive us. And one of the things we need to keep on building every day is national confidence, so that we can achieve more objectives, improve the standards of living of every Kenyan, and see the future as belonging to all of us. And we must never be a pessimistic nation. We must always remain optimistic, believing in new frontiers of possibilities. Like the expressway, what are we going to build after that? We have a bigger project that will have a bigger impact on the livelihood of Kenyans. That should be our dream all the time.
That should be our dream all the time. The question is, what kind of a nation are we going to see in the next 59 years? Because our time waiteth for no man. Well, thank you very much. You've been with us since 6 in the morning, and time now has come. It's actually 11. And we have so much to thank you for. Continue watching this live coverage. We'll catch up at some point after the celebrations. For me, O'Brien Kimani, and the rest of the production team led by Jacqueline Wasolo and her team, thank you very much. Keep watching, and of course, let's celebrate and be patriotic about our nation. Otherwise, good morning, enjoy,
and happy Madaraka Day.
Basi asante sana Maroon Commandos, kuzidi tu kuwakumbusha wananchi napozidi kusubiri kuwasili kwake Mheshimiwa Rais. Tafadhali tuweze kutulia wakati parade commander atakuwa anatoa amri zake. Wakati wote parade commander atakuwa ametoa amri zake. Najua ni furaha isiyo na kifani, japo ninaomba muweze kutulia. Maroon Commandos, tuendelee tafadhali.
Unyani mkubwa wa ujenzi wa taifa, kwani hicho kiini hasa kisababisha choja. Ewe ndugu yangu, amka kumekucha, kamata jembe na panga, twende shamba. Hata wewe mwanangu, amka kumekucha, kwani hizi ndizo za kwenda shule. Hata wewe karani, amka kumekucha, kwani hizi ndizo za kwenda kazi. Uvivu ni adui mkubwa wa ujenzi wa taifa, kwani hicho kiini hasa kisababisha choja. Wewe ndugu yangu, amka kumekucha, kamata jembe na panga, wende shamba. Hata wewe mwanangu, amka kumekucha, kwani hizi ndizo saa za kwenda shule. Hata wewe karani, amka kumekucha, kwani hizi ndizo saa za kwenda kazi. Uvivu ni adui mkubwa wa ujenzi wa taifa, kwani hicho kiini hasa kisababisha choja. Ewe ndugu yangu, amka kumekucha, kamata jembe na panga, twende shamba. Hata wewe mwanangu, amka kumekucha, kwani hizi ndizo saa za kwenda shule. Hata wewe karani, amka kumekucha, kwani hizi ndizo saa za kwenda kazi. Uvivu ndio adui ujenzi wa taifa, jiepushe na uvivu, tujenge taifa. Ndugu yangu kumekucha, amka wende shamba. Jiepushe na uvivu, tujenge taifa. Mwanangu kumekucha, amka wende shule. Elimu ndio msingi wa maendeleo. Karani kumekucha, amka wende kazi. Jiepushe na uvivu, tujenge taifa. Uvivu ndio adui wa ujenzi wa taifa, jiepushe na uvivu, tujenge taifa. Ndugu yangu kumekucha, amka wende shamba. Jiepushe na uvivu, tujenge taifa. Mwanangu kumekucha, amka wende shule. Elimu ndio msingi wa maendeleo. Barani kumekucha, amka wende kazi. Jiepushe na uvivu, tujenge taifa.
Chapa kazi.
Basi Maroon Commandos, msichoke kuzidi kutuletea burudani, na naomba kwa heshima tuendelee kupata burudani hadi atakapojiunga nasi mgeni wetu rasmi, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya.
Vida na mrogo masibe Isiante komana Eri manyanga inyo chamzige Eka kiretie amsedilige Inago ibana chini pinana Yukuandikia na barua Vida na mrogo masibe Isiane komana Eri manyanga inyo chamzige Eka kiretie lamsedilie Ilago ibana chini pinana Ikuandikia na barua Vida na mrogo masibe Isiane komana Eri manyanga inyo chamzige Eka kiretie amsedilie Inago ibana chini pinana Ikuandikia na barua Vida na mrogo masibe Isiane komana Eri manyanga inyo chamzige Eka kiretie amsedilie Inago ibana chini pinana Ikuandikia na barua
Na mtazamaji, hizo ni picha za moja kwa moja kutoka hapa katika uwanja wa Uhuru Gardens, na ni kwamba msafara wake Rais Uhuru Kenyatta sasa hivi unaingia katika uwanja huo kuhudhuria hafla ya 59 ya sherehe za Madaraka. Muda mfupi uliopita msafara huo uliondoka katika ikulu ya Nairobi, ambapo Rais Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa amekutana na baadhi ya viongozi wakiwemo mawaziri, na ni pale ambapo kuliandaliwa maombi ambapo Rais Kenyatta alisema ya kwamba anatumai ya kwamba msingi ambao ameweka kama rais wa taifa hili utaweza kudumu na utakuwa ni msingi bora kwa viongozi wa siku za usoni. Basi mtazamaji, anaingia sasa hivi ni mama wa taifa Bi Margaret Kenyatta. Gari ambalo lilikuwa limembeba limewasili, na tunatarajia kwamba muda mfupi kufikia sasa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta atakuwa anawasili hapa, na anapowasili tutakuwa tunapata atakuwa anaingia kwenye ile gari la kirasmi la sherehe hizi na kuwasalimu wananchi kabla ya kupata wimbo wa taifa, wimbo wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki. Na basi mtazamaji, hizo ni picha ambapo Rais Uhuru Kenyatta tayari ameanza ile hafla ya kuingia kwenye lile gari na kuwasalimu wananchi ambao wamejitokeza hapa kwa muda mrefu kuanzia mwendo wa saa 12 asubuhi tayari kwa hafla hii ya Madaraka. Na hivyo basi mtazamaji, tuelekee hapo tusikize kinachoendelea kwenye uwanja huu wa Uhuru Gardens.
Na mtazamaji, kama unavyoona kwenye runinga yako, tayari Rais Uhuru Kenyatta keshakwea kwenye lile gari maalum la kijeshi la sherehe za kitaifa, na atakuwa anazunguka uwanja huu wa Uhuru Gardens kuwasalimia wananchi. Ni uwanja ambao ni wa mita 400. Kwa hivyo kama unavyoona kwenye runinga yako ni kwamba Rais Uhuru Kenyatta
wanafunzi tupeperushe bendera. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais. Makofi. Makofi. Karibu Mheshimiwa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Tuongoze kwa sherehe za Madaraka.
Niombe tubaki tukiwa tumesimama kwa wimbo wa taifa na wimbo wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki, na waliovalia kofia zisizo rasmi waweze kuzivua tafadhali. Kuangalia hivi sasa kija kumwomba kweshi Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya na majeshi mkuu, majeshi yote ya ulinzi, ruhusa kuweza kukagua gwaride lililoandaliwa na majeshi ya ulinzi. Asanteni kwa heshima, tunaweza kuketi tafadhali. Anayemsindikiza Mheshimiwa Rais, Mkuu wa Majeshi ya Ulinzi, Jenerali Robert Kimoto. Basi kwa desturi za kijeshi, shati bendera ya kikosi kuwa mbele ya gwaride unavyoshuhudia hivi sasa kutoka kwa Kala Officer pamoja na parade RSM. Basi Mheshimiwa Rais, kwa amri hiyo, wanajeshi hawa baada ya kuandaa gwaride la kufana wanaondoka hivi sasa uwanjani kupata kujiunga na wenzao kuzidi kudumisha ulinzi wa taifa letu la Kenya. Mheshimiwa Rais, nafuata gwaride la vikundi vikiongozwa na jeshi letu la nchi kavu